Welcome to our show, Umbrellas of Hope. We are committed to enrich the life of members of the veteran and military community by connecting them to the resources that they need. We advocate for professional and entrepreneurial opportunities and facilitate conversations of hope, empowerment, and creativity to reduce military and civilian transition difficulties and to help our veteran and entrepreneurs families to thrive. Hi, I'm Niurka, your host. We invite you to be part of this journey as we, together, bring a positive change on new beginnings, opportunity, and success. Our new mini-series will be introducing the art of business to share with you how it can enhance your life, your community, and your future. So stay tuned.
Are you ready to be an entrepreneur? Entrepreneurs are confident, positive, creative, resourceful, and resilient people who are faced with problems and they create solutions. If this sounds like you, tune in to Founders Time to learn more and start your journey.
Let's welcome Gina Clark, all the way from Ontario, Canada. She's a painter, a creative coach, and she's here to show you how to bring your creative power to the forefront of everything that you do. And she will give you some strategies to help you accomplish just that. Stay tuned.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to Creative Power, Ways to Bring It to the Forefront. Um, my name is Gina Clark. I want to thank you for being here today. Just a little bit about me. I'm a painter, a surface pattern designer, and a creativity coach from Kenora, Ontario, Canada. And today I want to talk about how to bring your creative power to the forefront of everything you do in your business and give you some strategies to take with you today. So the first thing that I want to talk about is how creative entrepreneurship means frequent switching between left brain and right brain tasks. So science has now shown that, we don't use just one side of our brain for creativity and another side of our brain for other things. It's very much, something that works in tandem. So another way to look at this is to think about convergent thinking, which is analytic, logical, linear, much more administrative types of tasks, and divergent thinking, which is imaginative and abstract and creative. And it's probably a lot of the stuff that, you really love to do. So these are two very, very different ways of thinking and working. And when you're a creative entrepreneur, you need to be able to do both. So let's talk a little bit about how creative business owners are at risk of being overwhelmed by the seemingly endless left brain administrative tasks involved in running a business and neglecting their own creative practice. So I want you to think about if you've ever felt sucked into all of those admin tasks that you need to do as a business owner. I'm talking about things like finances, responding to emails, responding to customers, doing inventory, shipping out orders, that whole piece of it. And have you ever thought to yourself, like, why don't I have time to get to my own creativity? That's what my business is supposed to be about. That's what this is. The reason for this is my creativity. And just wondered if you were ever going to have time again to do it. And the thing is that if you don't nurture your creativity, everything else in your business is going to fall apart. And it's exactly for that reason that I just mentioned, because your business is based on your creativity. That's why you started in the first place. That's why you're here. So I want to give you a few tips and ideas for how you can make sure that doesn't happen. Or if you are feeling overwhelmed, some tactics and some really practical tips to help you move through that and work in a different way. So let's talk about a more balanced way to work that puts your own creative practice and self-care at the forefront of your business. So my first tip is to designate different locations for different tasks. So if you can, try to find an administrative workspace and a creative workspace and try to keep them separate. If you can, do not do them in the same place if at all possible. Now, I know that that's not always possible. Some of us have smaller workspaces. I have a little corner of my living room that I use as my studio, but I never sit down at my art table to do my admin work. I'll sit somewhere else to do that. And the reason is it really gets your brain ready if you turn it into a habit and go to the same place over and over again to do one or the other of the tasks. So if you're sitting down at your creative workspace, you are going to be ready to get into your creativity a lot sooner and a lot easier than if you move it around all the time and go to different places. Now, if it's not possible to work in different locations and you have to work at the same spot because you have space constraints or whatever it is, there's another little trick you can try, and that is using some sort of trigger to prime your brain for the task at hand. And what I mean by a trigger is using something like music or a certain scent, or maybe a drink or some type of ritual that you do. So as an example, maybe you like to have a nice cup of coffee before you sit down to do your creative work because it gets you revved up and it gets you going. And maybe you like to have a nice cup of herbal tea if you're going to sit down and do some of those admin tasks. And maybe that's the reverse for you. Perhaps you like to put on a certain type of music when you're creating. Perhaps you like to use some type of aromatherapy or something like that. So, and it could also be an action. So, maybe you just sit down and you do a quick mindful meditation for a couple of minutes just to get yourself in the space that you need to get in, whether it's to do the creative work or to do the admin work. So that's my first tip for you. Another thing that you can try is batching your work. And by batching your work, I mean trying not to multitask. We know that multitasking doesn't work. It's not efficient. You're not doing a really great job at any of the stuff that you're trying to accomplish when you multitask. It feels really good in the time because you feel, busy and productive. And I think you kind of get a bit of an adrenaline rush when you have the multitasking going on. I know that I can fall into that really easily. But you're much more effective and efficient, and you're going to produce better quality work if you try to batch your work and put them in buckets. So one way that you can try that is by perhaps designating afternoons only to creativity, or maybe mornings to creativity, or maybe late in the night. Whatever it is that works for you. But if you're sitting down and you're only doing one thing and only thinking about that one thing, you're going to do a much better job with it. Sometimes people batch their work by days of the week. This is something that I'm trying right now, and I'm really loving it. So I might spend one day of the week, say Monday is only about social media and writing content. So it's a writing day. Then I might have another day that's only responding to customer orders and shipping them out and responding to customer emails. I do try to get a little bit of creativity in every day. But when I batch the admin tasks, especially by day, it makes it a lot easier. They go by quicker. It leaves me more headspace for creativity. And I always try to block a full day or two for my creative work as well. So that's a great one. Another thing that you can try is pausing and readjusting before switching before tasks. So I talked about this a little bit earlier when I talked about having the separate spaces, but think about what we typically do when we're moving between tasks. We tend to finish one thing, either jump up and run to the next thing before taking a little pause or a break, or we open the new tab on the computer and get going and just like dive head straight into it. And again, it's sort of that, sense of urgency that we have to get all of these things done. But if we just take a quick minute, it can be 1 minute, it can be 5 minutes to just pause, sort of, decompress, get into the right mindset for the next task. Maybe, get up and stretch, go for a quick walk, go outside. I like to go outside on my deck and just sort of look at the backyard, look at the trees and all of the nature. And then when I feel ready, I'll move on to the next task. And that has released so much micro anxiety from my day, just doing that. It's a wonderful thing. And it just gets you ready for that next piece of work that you need to do. So the key thing that I want everyone to remember is that your creative work is the most important task of the day. It doesn't matter what day it is. So you need to make that your priority. You need to make your creative work your priority. So again, think about when you're most productive and creative. Think about what that time of day is for you and exploit that. Use that to your advantage. If you're someone who likes to wake up early at 4 o'clock in the morning and get to your creativity right off the bat, then do that, use that. Don't do other tasks during that time. Same thing if you're a night owl or if you like to work in the afternoons, use that to your advantage and try to get to something every single day. I like to use the word daily-ish because life happens, emergencies happen. Sometimes, there's things that we do need to do and we can't actually get to our creative work, but try to at least do something, whether that's organizing something in your studio, pulling something out that you've made and looking it over or reading it over. Even something like that is better than nothing if you can't actually get to your creative work. Because remember, your creative work supports everything else that you have to do in your business. It's not the other way around. Your creative work is the foundation of your business. And I'm guessing it's why you started a business in the first place, because you love what you do. You love being creative and you want to share it with other people. So it's really, really important to make sure that your creative work is supported as fully as it can be. It's going to make the work that you do be deeper, have so much more quality to it. And it's going to make people can feel that, and they're going to want to have a part of that when they can feel that you've put your whole self into it. And the most important thing out of all of this is to remember that your creative work supports you. Creativity is the ultimate act of self-care. Creativity is what feeds us. It's what gives us so much meaning in our life. We have this innate desire to create that we can't ignore. So being creative keeps you healthy. It's going to keep you being able to do those other things that you need to do that maybe you don't love as much. I don't know, maybe some of you out there love admin tasks, but I think most of us would rather be creating. But do remember that nurturing your creativity is nurturing you, and it's nurturing your business. So I hope that even one of these tips resonates with you and it's something that you find useful. I think you're going to notice that your creative output increases and improves in quality just by trying one of these. They may not all work for you, and that's okay. But give it a go. See if it changes anything. Just keep track of how much creativity you're getting to over the next month after you try some of these tips. And if you want, you can let me know how it goes. I would love to hear about it. You can find me at ginaclarkcreative.com. And if you go there, I have a free guide, 5 simple ways to unlock your creativity. And this is just something to get you kickstarted if you're not, feeling in the mood, or maybe it has been a while since you've gotten back to your creativity because you've been overwhelmed by all of these admin tasks. This guide will help you move into that again. It's nice and gentle. And it just helps get those creative juices flowing again. So take a look on my website at ginaclarkcreative.com. You'll see the link to find the guide. And you can also find me on Instagram at Gina Clark Creative. Thanks so much for being here today, and I hope that you found this helpful.
Wow. Are you as inspired as I am to let your creativity flow? Remember, we are all creative beings. Don't ignore your need to create because it can keep you healthy. You can start by practicing creative thinking and problem solving, and that will guide you to generate new perspectives, ideas, and innovation. It can lead you to positive outcomes on a personal, social, and economic level. Like Gina say, nurturing your creativity is nurturing you and it's nurturing your business. Let us know in hashtag in social media, hashtag umbrellas of hope, which are all the techniques that she shared with you are you going to be implemented first.
Creativity, really, the key part of creativity we want to think about is that it enables you to solve a problem in a new or different way, and in a way maybe perhaps nobody thought of. And that's really a big part of the benefit or genius of creativity, and why everybody should try to nurture it if they can, because creativity is problem solving. Any artist will tell you that much of what they do as an artist is solve problems, whether it's what color to use, what technique to use, what slug line to use, what copy to use, how to write the copy. All of those things are problems, they're decisions. And it's important to kind of nurture that kind of mindset so that you can employ either work with creatives or work on creativity and being more creative yourself.
Continue to enjoy this journey in creativity with us. In today's world, where artificial intelligence, the Internet of Things, advancing science, and autonomous vehicles is our new normal, creativity has never been more important. This new miniseries of Umbrellas of Hope was created in order to inspire you and empower you by giving you the creative confidence to redesign the world around you, to create new solutions that are invaluable for today's society, powered by your vision, your own unique talents, and limited only by your imagination. Our world, our society, our future needs you.